invoke ancestors and revere ancestors with the use of rum to introduce me to the ancestors. So they said, even though that you've been practicing as a Jamaican, as a Maroon, that you're now home on homeland. So these kind of these observances, these libations are to kind of consecrate you, not just you, but your people coming back from the Caribbean and kind of making your claims to kinship, if you like. So I went to three different.
So invoking the ancestors, like, what do we mean by that?
So I think the best way for me to explain it would be that water or any liquid is used as a communication tool with the ancestors. So when we pour libation, the symbolically it's like the rain, or what you're pouring water on a seed to help it grow. So when you say invoke the ancestors, it's about invoking and making them aware that you're revering, that you're holding them in reverence. But for the priest at that point, it was more for them to kind of show the ancestors that we've got a brother that's come home. So it was about kind of invoking them to let them know that actually we've got a brother that's come back into our fold.
So you know my
it's
thing, right?
Reverence and communication.
It's all mind, isn't it? We talk about spirit, you know my thing. We've had the discussion, right? So when we're talking about invoking, what are we saying? We are trying to pull to the front of our mind this link to specific ancestors, or this understanding, the thought, the idea of this ancestor, which is a part of us physically, but it's if we put it again in mind, it's a subconscious part of us, and we're trying to make ourselves conscious of this relationship to them.
I'd say yes, and
is invoking, bringing that subconscious.
I'd say it's definitely
image.
It's definitely about invoking the awareness of the ancestors in the individual, but I think it's also symbolically trying to communicate with. And I think communication is a broad term. We have to be careful when we say communication.
Yeah.
Because
what does that actually
try not use
mean
the word
as well?
invoke to explain it, because we're trying to define the word invoke. So go on again.
So the concept is a communication, and the goal is for a two-way communication. So the aspect of libation, or even the aspect of using that specific ritual to communicate with the ancestors. So the act or performing libation is, the concept is to communicate with our ancestors. So one of my teachers puts it like this in terms of the ritual aspect of spirituality, and the ritual will invoke your own awareness, but the more you do it, it kind of solidifies the ancestors' link to you. So at that point, you're supposed to experience, or the goal is to experience communications in your dreams, to have better fortune, and these things aren't. It's not easy to describe the ways in which our ancestors communicate with us. It's quite individuals. I have experiences in my dream, for example. So when I was in the temple for 3 days, part of the process was to be in meditation and contemplation, and I had experiences where I communicated with ancestors through my dreams. So I had in meditation, and I don't think I even realized the temple in Soweto. We was there for 3 days. 3 days and 2 nights, and we was given a certain food, and then there was incense burning. So at points, I'm not sure which was a waking moment and which part was kind of a sleeping moment. But what I will say at this point is that I had both Kojo and Queen Annie speak to me to say that you found your way home, but you need to go further. So for me, I interpret it as actually you found your way back to Africa. You found a family that's accepted and has brought you into the fold, but your goal is to go further into kind of where we came from, and that for me was the Asante Nation.
So I'm with you. Like this I'm just drawing out this conversation because this is the stuff we all want to understand better, I think, at heart, you know what I mean? Like I said, I always interpret this stuff as ancestors, my ancestors are a part of me. Like physically, that's a material fact. My genes, if you want to talk about it scientifically, my genetics, they carry them with me. We all understand through science and just through logic that stuff is passed on. So their mindset, their experience, not just my nose and my ears and my mouth, their mindset, their experience is also passed on in some degree. So the communication, this is me trying to rationalize it in my mind, right? The communication can be me communicating with that part of me that come directly from them. And I'm trying to bring out that aspect of
self,
my memory, which is their memory, which is my memory.
Connecting.
And I'm just trying to be more conscious of that, right? And then it's almost like that aspect of me giving its opinion on my position now this is the communication. This is me just trying to logify it in terms that someone might be able to make more sense of it, because it's, you know, it's demonized, this idea of communing with the ancestors. But if you kind of see it the way I just said it there, no one can demonize that, because that's just you're alive because people was before you were alive. You're a part of them, they're a part of you, they're in you genetically, and like I just said, experientially, you're going to have some information from them. So somewhere in you, their personality, their character, their mind exists. So it's only natural, like Africans have done, to consider that, well, yeah, you must be able to somehow have their perspective on your life now. And that's what, arguably, we aim to communicate with. When we say it in these rituals, we say we're trying to commune with them. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get that, because they've lived a whole life.
Yeah, many of them.
Right? Yeah. And we're still in the middle of ours. So who better to ask what to do sometimes? Yeah, right? Yeah.
And this is where divination comes from. So it wasn't until...
I would say divination slightly different though. But go on.
The reason why I was mentioning is that one of the Akan divination systems is called a com. And a com is the ability to communicate with ancestors through divination. Now, most people might not necessarily see their dreams as a communication, but the Acom or the divination system that I'm now initiated into, and I'm a student of it, so some of these concepts are developing in me, if you like. But the idea that some of your dreams, once you've engaged in ritual regularly, that your dreams will start to manifest in a way where it's your ancestral, the aspects of yourself that are communicating with you. So you could say that's the aspects of your subconscious, an aspect of your subconscious that has a memory of your ancestral experiences that will kind of communicate with you, potentially the way to kind of make better decisions in this life. And I think that's the kind of, for me anyway, the most practical way to live within the kind of the initiation process. So my priest, Nana B, he will speak to dreams being the first element of ancestral communication, and your ability to kind of decipher your dreams, or decide the ability to kind of understand what your subconscious is trying to tell you through your dreams only happens when you kind of regularly or consistently entering into ritual. And I think ritual, the term ritual might be demonizing itself. So I'd use the term libation. I'd use the ways in which we use mantra to kind of center ourselves, and meditation techniques. So that these modes of contemplation are supposed to raise your vibration, your energy, so that your subconscious is clearer in its communication with you.
But you see how more digestible it sounds, even to someone that understands. when you say, yeah, my dreams are my ancestors speaking to me, or my dreams are my subconscious speaking to me, or me interpreting what my subconscious is saying. One seems like, you're a bit mad, bro. Yeah, my ancestors speaking to you in my dreams. But the other one, yeah, my subconscious communicating something to me, and me trying to interpret what my subconscious is saying. That's completely practical. But they're the same statement.
Exactly.
They're the same statement. Because what we're arguing is your subconscious is all this information that's in your body that you're unaware of. It's there. It's a part of you. That's just your subconscious. It's there. That's what they tell you. Subconscious is, your conscious is the top of the iceberg. The subconscious is the rest of the iceberg under the ocean that you'll never see. But it's there, driving you to go left when you don't know why you went left. Your subconscious made you go left. We just said that it was your ancestor, right? Because we know we got that information from somewhere. We got that information from what came before us. So it's the same statement, but one sounds logical and the other one sounds supernatural.
Yes.
It's the same statement.
Same thing. Because that's what I was just thinking when King was saying it, that most people would be thinking, what's he saying? But it's the subconscious. That's what I would see it as. Yeah.
But they just say subconscious, and that isolates you like it's just you. You have this.
Just you.
But where did it come from?
Yeah, it's in all of us.
Where did it come from? It comes from your body, according to the science, the people. It comes from your mind. Where did that come from? It comes from everything that came before you.
Yeah. The lineage.
It comes from your lineage. So if you're born with it, I see another post, some brain scientists say we are born with something like 200 and something mental ways. Like,
your child is born with more than 400 psychological traits that will emerge as they mature. Your child is not a blank slate on which you get to write. If you would like to read more about this, please read Steven Pinker's book, The Blank Slate, which is a review of all of this information for parents and why it isn't true. The better view is that your child is a genetic mosaic of your extended family, which means this is a unique combination of the traits that run in your family line.
Like he was basically arguing that a child is not really up to, I don't necessarily agree with it, but how you raise a child is not necessarily the deciding factor, because they come into this world with a brain set up a certain way, and there's not much you can do about that, right? It's set a certain way.
You can nurture it.
You can nurture. That's that nurture versus nature, which I do discuss. Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. This is basically what Africans believe, because like again, it's a different word of wording. You come with a certain set of ancestors. You come with a certain lineage. You come with a certain destiny, and you come with a certain fate.
And the whole idea of
there's no way around it.
Fate, and kind of the ancestral or the need to redeem. So one of my divination, I can't go into kind of everything around divination, but one of it was around some of the sins of my ancestors, in terms of the wars we fought in Jamaica against our own better interests. So I spoke about in the last conversation that there would have been Leeward Maroons that fought against sovereignty, that sided with the British against. And part of our divination was that there's a redemptive actions that I need to take to redeem for some of the injustices that were kind of levied on some of who are also ancestors.